Well, now, there is a mystery about life that I want to talk about today, and specifically on this video. Why only 2% of people or the population in life actually manage to make it in life, but the rest, 98%, they still remain to the basket of struggling. And by the way, have you asked yourself, and I want you to do these very simple statistics, and you know you can be able to do it, okay? Check about your country. Between the rich and the poor, who are the majority? Forget about your country. Go to your village. Between the rich and the poor, who are the majority? If you go to the globally or the entire world, between the rich and the poor, who are the majority? By the way, that great country called America that you people struggle and really aspire to go, only 1% of the population in that country controls like the rest of the wealth in that given country. Now, the question is this: why only 2% of people in life usually make it in life and the rest of 98% never make it? And let me tell you one secret. You're watching this video, probably let's say this video gets like 1 million views. And by the way, go ahead and like the video and make sure that you subscribe. Only few people will actually manage to make it in life. For example, when I'm invited into seminars to talk about finances and investments, maybe in groups, or maybe you have a group, you can invite me. And if you're outside the country, you want us to have a discussion, I also do offer those services online, okay? Through a Google Meet or Zoom or whatever, okay? Now, whenever I see, like, let's say I'm talking to a people of, let's say, 100. Whenever I look at that number, I always know only like 3 people or 4 people are the ones who are serious in this. The rest are just filler materials. They are just here to enjoy the session, and they seem as if they are very serious, and they are writing. And by the way, let me tell you one secret: they also aspire to be great in life, because I don't think there's anybody who wishes the bad for themselves. They aspire, they write, they follow, they say, wow, amazing. They ask questions. But I know at the end of the day, in this seminar that I'm having this discussion, only 4 people out of 100 will make it, or 5 or 6 or something of sort. Why only few? For example, you can remember when you're in high school, you used to be brought these examiners or these great people you to speak to us, aspires, and all those kind of things. But very few of you actually manage to make in life. The rest are just in the average, what do we call it? The average population. Now, what exactly contributes to only 2% of people making it in life? All right. Now, that is the nut that we want us to crack in this video. There is something most of the people do not have in their life. And I'll give you a very simple example. When I wanted to be a content creator and make videos on YouTube, I actually approached somebody whom was my friend, a very close friend. And I told the guy, hey, guess what? I think I have a content that I can be able to post on YouTube. And also, I understand you also have a very good content again. You have that charisma and what have you. How about we partner on this and be able to make this? By the way, this YouTube channel could have been a 2-people channel, but I'm only alone. Why? And I had a lot of people whom I was consulting the same, hey, how about you come on board to make these videos? But none of them showed up. When I shared that idea to somebody told me, hey, you know what, Joseph, we need to have cameras, we need productive equipment, we need the lighting, we need the microphone, have you ever met some people who complicate the issue? You just want us, and I said, let's just start with what we have. We can use our cell phone. No, you know what? People, what happens, and these are the problems that people manage, or people uses, or excuses that people use so that and end up actually not making it in life. Number one, the very first thing that is a differentiator, if that name exists in English, the very first thing that differentiates the 2% from the 98% is something called what we call, the discipline of starting up. I should call it starting up, starting up, discipline of starting up. So you find these individuals, most of them, they fear starting. Why? They fear failing. Most of the people are fears of the failure. They fear failing. And let me tell you one secret. The failing, for example, if you go watch my older videos, you can just go watch them for the purposes of inspiration. All right. And there was a comment I was going through on these videos, and someone commented on my second video when I started making it, and they were like, oh my goodness, people come from far. It is true. It was a horrible video, background noises, you can hear people talking on background, you can actually see my attention being taken away by some few things. I was poor at it, but I made the first step of actually doing what? Starting. Fear of failing. Most of the people in this population, they fear failing. You have your 50,000, you have 100,000, you want to start a business, you fear every time you want to start, you fear. You actually borrow ideas from people who failed. You don't even get motivated. You don't even understand the failing and making it in life, or the failure and the success is a sort of a Siamese twins or something sort, okay? The other side of the fear is actually the win. You know, the other side of rather the failure is actually the success. That's what you're supposed to understand. The other thing that you find most of the people usually don't manage to make it to the percentage. People are not consistency. Okay? People are not consistent with what they are doing. You find you're starting something today, you don't even wait, you don't even give it time, you don't give it your attention, you don't pump a lot of knowledge into it, you don't read about it, you can't even pay. Let's say you are starting something that you don't understand, you even feel pinched, you can't even pay someone to teach you or something of sort. You want everything free, you don't want to put any effort, and then after some times you drop it, you pick another one, you drop it, you pick another one, you drop it, you pick. The moment you keep on having that kind of a character, you become a jack of all trades but a master of none. So what you're supposed to do is be consistency. For example, the first time I uploaded a video, nobody showed up, and I was the only one who was watching my videos, liking my video, and all those kind of things. But I keep on pushing, because I had that zeal and motivation, consistency. And you reach to a certain particular point. And I met a friend like yesterday, literally yesterday, and he told me, hey, you know what, Joseph, I can't believe it. Manze, your consistency is crazy. You know, you post 2 videos a day. I mean, you're crazy on whatever you're doing. Yes, you have to push it. You have to be a consistency person. You must be an individual who is controlled not by the emotion. Sometimes I wake up and I feel like, oh my goodness, today I feel like I don't want to upload any video. But you feel, no, come on, I have over 120,000 people waiting for me to post a video out there. Feel that responsibilities. This is my company. I'm like the CEO, and I have to make sure that each and every time I have to come up here, show my face, and be consistency on that kind of a thing. And usually it's good to, when you shut your ears when people are telling you, oh, you have made it, wow, you have the silver button, you shut, you behave as if you're starting up and you're pushing it along. Okay, so the consistency is something that people don't have it in life. And by the way, let me tell you one secret. When you talk about the consistency, you find, like, for example, right now you are in a certain age, and then you hear, hey, people are doing so good in farming, you rush into farming. Even before giving it time to actually do good, you get out of that. Hey, you know what, some people are doing the transport industry, you rush into transport industry. Some other crazy people come here, tell you about cryptocurrency, you run into the cryptocurrency. Oh no, you know what, forex trading is doing better, you run into forex trading. You have nothing that you can actually sit and talk about for the next 2 hours. And guess what? If you have nothing that you can sit here and talk about that specific thing for the next 2 hours without repeating yourself, then you have a problem. You really need to pick. And by the way, guess what? Nobody in life has ever made it by diversifying in all those kind of areas. No. Most of the people who you hear they are rich, they will tell you, guess what? My source of wealth is by, I did this. I actually got into farming and I made it into there. I got into trading. I got my money into this trading. I was trading wheat. I was trading commodities. I did this. So people actually start with one thing. They perfect it. They become successful. Then they start diversifying. That's for sure. That's how it goes about. So most of the 98% of the population, they don't want to try things out. They just want to sit somewhere and then start to do the blame game and that kind of a thing. Another thing that you find, most of the only 2% in life succeed in this life and the population that we have in, it is because they have something called, they advocate something called the sacrifice. There's something called sacrifice. And not most of the people will actually incorporate this in life. Sacrifice is a situation whereby, see, for you to make in life, you must sacrifice at a certain time. You have to be an individual who knows, hey, guess what? This one takes an arm and leg for me to actually succeed in this. I'm gonna go ahead and do what you call the delayed gratification. And a certain period of time, I'm gonna make myself and I'm gonna get out of the situation that I'm in. Or otherwise, if I continue having the comfort, because another thing where you can substitute, see, 92 or 2% will succeed, 2% succeed because of the sacrifice, 98% fail because of something called the comfort. See, the comfort. The comfort he then says is that, hey, you don't want to disturb your comfort. For example, you're just out there, you want to get yourself a car, you want to get yourself a good home and your salary, you don't even want to think like a creator. Because let me tell you one secret. In anything that you do, there is a business part of it and there is a professional part of it. If you are a doctor, there is a medicine part of the business and there is the doctor services part of it. If you are a teacher, there is education part of the business and then there is the teaching part of the education. So in every institution or in everything that you do, there is two parts. There is a professional part and there is a business part. And I do believe, and I choose to believe, each and everyone here, we were created as creators. That's for sure. Because even the Bible says that we are co-creators with God. See, we just create new things. For example, God didn't give us shoes. God didn't give us clothing. God didn't give us the furnitures. God hid the furnitures in trees. So it's you to think on how you can get a furniture, a very good recliner from a tree. That's what you're supposed to understand. How can you get a very nice suit from a hide? How can I get a very good suitcase from a hide or a skin of a cow or something of sort? So the thing is this, you need to be a creator. But if you be an individual who is out there and is an individual who just want to receive, okay, you don't even bother yourself, you don't live in a life whereby you don't want to, sort of critically think and something, you're gonna have a very rough life. So the thing is this, be an individual who sacrifices. And for you to come up with a thing, you must delay the gratification. You have to be an individual who knows, guess what, I know I can afford to live in a 20,000 house rent, one bedroom somewhere in a nice place, but I'm gonna go ahead and strain myself and stretch myself a little bit and live in a 10,000. This 10,000, I can actually invest this money consistently. If I do so in a period of 1 year, 2 or something of sort, then I'm gonna have a purchasing power. Then I can get the money and go and actually invest somewhere, better place that I can actually get good returns. And then later I can actually go ahead and actualize me owning my own home or something of sort. So at that particular point, if you do not want to delay the gratification, you want to borrow your future, bring it here and enjoy it now on the basis of life is short, or you only live once. This way we have the YOLO family and all those kind of things. So that is what actually limits most of the people. Because let me tell you one secret, this 2% in life, they are the people who you find, you call them stingy, you call them they are mean, you call them frugal. You see, hey, guess what? These people, even if they are that wealthy, they just ask you for that change or an extra change of 2,000 or whatever, or 1,000 or whatever the amount of part. You tend to think like that. No, the point is this, these people, they usually incorporate what we call, they know the discipline of starting. And that it doesn't make any sense if you start and there is no consistency. So you must start fast, and then you have the consistency for you to continue doing that what you actually. And by the way, let me tell you one secret. You see, have you ever been somewhere and that idea came in and you are alone? Most of the great ideas are conceived when we are alone. That's for sure. Maybe we were watching something, maybe we were walking somewhere. That great idea is conceived especially when you are alone. And then when you conceive that idea, then you be consistency. Say you'd like to learn something like graphic design. For example, by the way, if you decide to be the greatest musician, if you be the greatest violinist, you just want to play violin and all those, you're gonna be able to do that thing. But the problem is this, you do not have the discipline. Because succeeding in life, you need to have yourself the discipline again. So the discipline on this sense, maybe that should be the fourth point. The discipline here is the sense of that you must be an individual who knows, I'm guided by these principles. I say each and every day I have to show up, do 10 push-up, do 20 push-up. I have to make sure that I exercise. I'm not in good shape in terms of my energy and something of sort. I have to make sure that I read at least 5 pages of a book for me to actually upgrade and level myself up. Or maybe each and every day I said I'll be jogging around. Every day I'll be making sure that I at least go somewhere and watch something that is actually an infotainment, something that is informing you and entertaining you at the same time. So when you make sure, when you incorporate your life with that kind of a discipline, and let me tell you one secret, guy, it is easier said than done. That's very true. I did not promise it is easier done than said. That's for sure. You need to be an individual who can be able to count the cost, and you're paying the price. And paying the price here, it means you living your talk. That's for sure. If you are that kind of an individual who, have you ever met some people who have a very, very good ideas and such kind of a thing? And sometimes I meet some guys who tell me, hey, Joseph, I would like to be a content creator. But and then when you listen to them, they tell you a very brilliant and nice idea, and and at the end of the conversation, it's like, okay, fine, you go ahead and start because you have the cell phone. And I wait for them to post a video. I don't see nothing. They post one video, after 1 week they disappear. After 1 month they come again and post another video, and they're telling you they're gonna be the greatest content creator. No, you cannot be. The difference between me and your pastor is that I tell you the truth, the pastor sells you the hope. Okay, both of them are important, truth and the hope. But the point is this, if you start with hope and end with hope, you're doing nothing. Sometimes it's good when you get the truth, and don't just truth, but the brutal truth. When you get the truth, then at that way, you're going to be able to snatch yourself from the 98%. Now, the 98%, or rather the 2%, another thing that they do that differentiate them from the large population is that they do things differently. They do things differently. And I told you a very simple formula to any life. Simple. Just look at what, sorry for that. Just look at what the 98% are doing, or the large population, what they are doing, and then do opposite. Simple. If you're in a community that you come up, the community that you come from, people are born, they're taken to secondary school, nursery school, primary, secondary, tertiary, look for a job, blah, 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 that kind of a thing. And you feel you're bored with that kind of a system. Look at what they're doing, then do it differently. Simple. That is the only way you can be. That is like the fastest step that you can ever take if you want to be a different individual and if you want to win bigly. That is it. do what they're not doing, and then at a particular point you're going to get a difference than what they're getting, rather than you doing what they're doing and then you're expecting a miracle to happen. For example, sometimes I feel pity when I see university students and college students and they're just relying on what they're studying in the campus. Maybe you're learning, maybe let's say engineering, or you're learning whatever the thing you're learning, and you know we are in the world of AI. You don't even know what's an AI. You don't even do anything to upgrade yourself. You're just doing party after party. You're just playing games and all those kind of things. But if you're playing games too and you're making money out of playing games, amazing, I support that fully. But if you're just there playing game to entertain yourself from Monday to Friday, or from Monday to Sunday, you're just doing the same thing continuously, and then you're banking on the basis of, hey, let the creators go somewhere and create those jobs, and then when I get out of this university, I'm gonna get that job. And then once you get out of the place, then you realize, guess what, it's a very competitive world. That person creates the job and they don't even need you, and that's the time you become frustrated. Then you start saying, hey, government should do something for the sake of me. And so what have you done for the sake of yourself? So what you're supposed to do is this: be a person who is actually doing things differently. You're in campus, and I remember when I was in campus, I used to, okay, fine. I used to be a kind of a different thing, even from my family. I chose to be kind of a different person, because you find me, I'm in campus, but the things that I'm doing, things that I'm thinking about, things that I'm incorporating myself, sometimes I could even forget that I'm actually doing a specific course. Sometimes you could get me dishing into economic class just to get some few information there and something also. So the thing is this: you just be different. Pick a thing. For example, right now you decide to go ahead and do some graphic design if you're university. If you want to do something like, let's say, a web design and software engineering and all those kind of things, those are the things that are actually gonna pay in future. But you're out there, you're waiting a miracle to happen, ain't gonna happen. You're gonna be discouraged, and that is exactly what you're not supposed to do as far as the life is concerned. Guess what, guys? I'm gonna make a part 2 of this video, but for now, that is the information that I've gathered well after consulting some different people, especially those people that are in 2% of our life. So go ahead and do something about your life, so that at least you snatch yourself out of the large population of 98% and get yourself into 2%. And that is exactly how you transform and change your life. For now, it's a goodbye, but don't forget, you can pick that number of mine from the description of this specific video. If perhaps you may need any of my given services that I've actually outlined when I was beginning this video. For now, it's a goodbye, and see you in the next one. But don't forget to hit that like button and comment down below. See you there.